Alright, everybody wants to know my favorite game is. Well, hello, it's Pokemon Go. Who in the world does not love Pokemon Go? I mean, I'll tell you what, I didn't start the very first day it came out, and I'm very thankful that I didn't actually. I waited almost 2 or 3 weeks before I did start playing the game because, from what I understand, it had a lot of issues. Bugs, tracking, servers crashing and not realizing there's probably going to be such a huge event on hand, but I definitely got way into it on hand myself at the beginning. I just started somewhere in July. I believe July 19th is the day I started playing Pokemon Go. So it was almost 2-3 weeks till after it started. There was a tracking system in the footprints at the time, but I only saw it for a few days before it disappeared. And that's when I also started watching a lot of videos online about Pokemon Go to realize how it takes effects in the game. And I definitely learned a lot from Trainer Tips. I mean, he was very awesome. And I watched Ollie for a while, but I don't know, maybe a little bit too preppy for me on Andy per se. I don't know, those videos were sort of cool. But Nick was really down to earth and more realistic on things and definitely explained a lot of mechanics of the game that I'm not necessarily into, but definitely enjoyable enough to play. Because the only problem I could find with Pokemon Go right now is it's too friggin' cold to get out there and want to do anything. And the fact is, so many people were talking about their Pokédex and how they could fill it up. Well, I tell you what, I live in a small rural town. I do not drive. I didn't go anywhere. And I was able to get every single Pokemon in Generation 1. And it took me probably about 6 months, okay, let's say on hand. But I also did spend money and I hatched a lot of eggs. I'm thinking, let's say $300 or so, you know. I mean, Charmander, which was awesome, was actually my 300th egg. As much as I wanted to get a Charmander and I'd never had one, it took me umpteen number of dollars. And it was my 300th egg I hatched. It was awesome and stuff. And then the next one I really had to go after, fucking Dratini. I'll tell you what. One time when I first started playing downtown, there was a Dratini. I happened to not get it. A buddy of mine did, so that was cool. And actually, I got on Facebook and I saw some other dude got one that right then there and too. But it took me a long time to get my Dratini. I had to go out. But fortunately, at our lake here in town, we have a nest. And that is way cool because the first 2 months, it was a Pikachu nest. And let me tell you, I got a lot of Pikachus. I could go out there and get 20 or so in about 4 hours. I mean, I don't know what most people average is, but I thought that was sort of nice. But also they say you can get Pokemon close to where there's water, or according to what the Pokestop says. I'm not so sure because it was a lake. And I didn't very often see water Pokemon actually spawn there or show up on a more common basis, I think. And even with putting a lure and getting rid of all the trash that was in the area, it took several trips before I finally got my Dratini. And I tell you what, I was so happy. And he's been my buddy ever since. And I'll tell you what, I walk everywhere and I ride my bike, and you wouldn't imagine the amounts I put on my game.